Alexa, so welcome in anyone and everyone. We are going to paint the stacked pumpkins today, and the art kits come with everything you need to paint the designed picture. And it has your directions. We're going to open up our kit and take out the content so that you see what all comes in. You get your pre-traced canvas, you get your paint, and you get your directions, and you get an apron, a napkin, everything you need to paint the picture. So we're going to get started on the stacked pumpkins here. We'll get going with it. Put all of our paint out. Get our background painted. I'm opening up my paint. Welcome in, welcome in. We're just getting started. I am Principal Art Studios, and I am just starting this week selling my art kits online. And I've just opened up the package that they come in. Where today I'm going to be painting the stacked pumpkins, a beautiful fall design. You can look in my shop and you'll see all the designs that I have preloaded right now. I have a lot more that I'm going to add. I've got over 50 designs right now. So I've opened up my art kit. It is pre-traced. This is how the kits will come to you. You will have specific written directions with pictures that show you how to paint. I've just opened up my paint here, and it also comes with an apron, napkin, plate. All you need is a cup of water to paint this particular painting. So I'm going to get started here doing my background. And we just give this show here to the Lord and just pray that the Lord will bless it in Jesus' name. And so I'm going to start out doing my background here black. Going to kind of come around my pumpkins. How's everybody doing today? It has been a beautiful day here in Georgia. We have just enjoyed that it wasn't raining here. We've had so much rain over the past few days that it's good to wake up to some sunshine. So we're going to paint our background black on this pumpkin here picture. This is the stacked pumpkins. So we're going to do a crisscross kind of pattern here as we paint the background. So how has your day been today? Welcome in. We are painting the stacked pumpkins. I am featuring art kits here, and this is the painting that we will be painting. Your kits come with pre-traced canvas, everything you need except a cup of water. So the directions here are given specifically with pictures and with words. And I just have opened up one of my kits and just thought I'd share them with you. They are in the shop in the buy now, and they are $25. And they come with 11 by 14 pre-traced canvas of the design of your choice, and um, everything you need's inside. They have an apron, plate, napkin. You get 3 paintbrushes. You get all the paint that you need to paint that particular painting that you've chosen. And the directions actually walk you through step 1 exactly what to do. Now, this particular painting has a black background. And this is one of my favorite paintings. I am Sharon. I am a retired principal, and I retired about 8 years ago. I was principal at our local elementary school for about 18 years. Well, 18 years. And I was kind of seeking the Lord and trying to figure out what is it you want me to do. And I'd always wanted to paint. And so I built a little studio at the back of my home, and started doing some commissioned paintings and whatnot. And it evolved into paint parties with women. And just so blessed to have met so many people, and just to get out, and because I'm a people person, I like to get out and talk to people. I don't know about you. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome. And so I started doing paint parties about 4 years ago, and just traveled just all around. I'm from Georgia. I live about 30 miles south of Augusta, Georgia. And tell me where y'all are from in the comments. And so it's just, I've been doing it for 4 years. People love it, and I just get so much joy out of meeting people. I go to people's homes, I go to churches, I go to businesses. And so from there, I started doing art kits and taking them to my paint parties, because when people were there, they would tell me how relaxing it was, how I would love to do this. And so I started making kits and taking them to my paint parties. And so they really started selling. So who do we have? Jane and Mo Rudy and Tony, card collector. Welcome in. So I just kind of listened to what my audience at my paint parties were saying, and so started doing these kits. And so I take them with me to my paint parties, and the women were like, I could do this like on a Saturday morning, get up. And some did it as hobby. Some wanted to do it with just their girlfriends. Some would buy in bulk and host little paint and sips at their house, just them, without me coming. So the paint parties just kind of helped the paint kits here that I'm doing on Whatnot kind of evolve. So your kits come packaged. I opened this package up right now. They come packaged in a cellophane pack with your picture, and then on the back, I put everything you need. You get written directions with specific pictures. Number one, do this. Number two, number three, tells you exactly what to do. You get an apron. You get 3 brushes. You get all the paints you need to paint that picture. You get a napkin, a plate to put your paint on if you need to mix any colors or anything like that. All you need from your house is just a cup of water. And my paint kits, they're only $25. And that has just people have loved them. So all I can say. So I thought I would try. This is my first, this is about my third live with my kits. And I did a live the day before yesterday. And actually, let me grab this one. Did the fall pumpkin on live and had a great audience of people with me and stuck with me and watched paint and talked. But this one here is the one that we did on the live the other day. This one is for sale on the in my shop. That's the fall pumpkins, but we did that one live the other day. So thank you for joining and coming in. And I hope that you will stay with me. Just, you don't have to buy, just stay with me and chat with me. Let me know where you're from. And would love to kind of get to know some people. I love to talk and paint at the same time. So I can do that if you'll just come along with me. So we're just painting this background of this painting here is going to be completely black. And this is just the way I did this particular design here. Let me grab my paint. And this is, if you're not really an orange pumpkin person, um, this is might be something that you would be interested in. I like to kind of decorate my house. I have with like more neutrals, shades of pumpkins in the house. So I would actually get a frame. They have the frames that you can put these in at Hobby Lobby. You just they're back where the picture frames are, and they're like hanging on hooks in the back. And the way I tell the with this is I get my brush with it like a chiseled edge almost, stand it up straight to go around to outline the outline of your pumpkins. And all these details will be in my written directions that will help you paint the picture. So, and if you're already artistic, you can take these kits and embellish them, make them more than what I've done. But if you're just a beginner who's wanting to learn to paint, these kits are a great way to go ahead and have all the materials you need right there. You've got a tracer that's already traced out for you on here with your design. Just saves you so many steps that you can just kind of jump right in and learn to paint. I am not a professional artist. I'm self-taught. Like I said, I was an educator for 30 years. The last 18 years that I was in education, I was our elementary school principal here locally, and had always wanted to paint, but never could find the time when I was working full time. So when I retired, I did started painting, just painting pictures on my own, ended up selling everything just about that I would paint. And then the Lord opened up doors for me to do paint parties with women. And it was at those paint parties that people began to tell me, I wish I had something I could take home and do Saturday while I'm at home drinking my coffee, or do with friends. So I started making these paint kits and taking them to all my paint parties, and they would just sell because people loved them. And they really talked about how it helped to have everything you need right there. They didn't have to think about, oh, I got to go get this, let me go get that. Everything they needed was right there in that kit. Okay, now as this dries, you'll notice little spots where maybe you didn't put as enough black. So what I'll do is I'll let that dry and then start working on my next step. If I need to go back and add black in areas, I'll go back and touch up. Now you can paint your sides, okay? If you're going to frame it, which I'm going to frame mine, you don't have to actually um, to paint the sides. So that's how I am going to do mine here. But know, that you can paint the sides. You can put hanging material on the back and hang it on the wall if you're going to paint the sides. It just showcases so much better if you don't frame it to just put those on the sides. Put a wire or something on the back so you can hang it. Um, Biology. Um, where are you from? Welcome in. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you so much. I am learning everything on here. I hope you can hear me and that everything's going okay. If have you been on what not long? Are you a seller as well? Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, so the next step, what we're going to do is I'm going to start with my bottom pumpkin, and on my directions, it says to paint the bottom pumpkin with white and brown, following along the ribs of the pumpkin. Rinse your brush. All right, so I've got my brush already rinsed out from when I was painting my black. And always dry your brush off. I don't want any water in my paint on this because I don't want it to run. Sometimes I will tell you to add some water, but here in this instance, I have not. It says to rinse and dry. So I'm going to start out with just some white here, and I just kind of want to wet my canvas a little bit. Just wet it with that white, kind of get it flowing. And you will have a picture here to go by. So you'll have a guide with the picture here to see how it's supposed to look. Then you will also have your step-by-step directions. So if you go through my shop, you can look at all the designs that I have. Next month, in September, I have 8 paint parties scheduled already. So I'm beginning to make kits for fall with a touch of Thanksgiving in. People are beginning to think fall now. And we'll begin also introducing some Christmas. They make great gifts, great birthday gifts. They make great Christmas gifts, great stocking stuffers. And my even though my kits, they're adult kits, they are appropriate for children too as well. I mean, if you go on there and look, you can see like one of my Christmas designs is a nutcracker, which that could be an adult too, because I have the reason why that one was created is we had some friends who were just they love nutcrackers at Christmas time. So I'm gonna open up my paint pod here, and now I'm gonna get some brown. And I'm just going to follow along those ribs here with a little brown. I'm going to put it on the tip of my brush and kind of come in and just follow these ribs. Just like that. Just a little brown on the tip of my brush. Come around like this. And all the details at the end, the eucalyptus flowers and all of that will be branching out from the bottom, and it'll look just beautiful. So now I'm going to take that brush and I'm going to lay it flat. I'm just going to kind of drag it along the bottom just like this. Lay it down so that it doesn't look just like a harsh line, but it gives it some detail in that painting. Doesn't that look beautiful? All right, I'm going to take a little white and just kind of tone it down in areas. Just kind of come in and tone down that line on top of it like that. Kind of add some dimension into that pumpkin. I'm just basically brushing what little bit of brown I have in my brush off there. So anything that your eye says, I don't like that, go ahead and change it. Make it your own. That's what's so neat about these kits. You can take what I've given you, but then you can come in and change it and make it your own too. So, and every time I paint a picture, I've painted this particular design so many times. Every time I do it, I will do things differently. So, that's that's just kind of my advice. All right, the next one says paint the middle pumpkin teal and a little bit of white following the ribs, rinse and dry. All right, so here we're going to come in and we're going to paint this a teal color. Now, this is just the colors I chose for this particular painting. And so, if you have acrylic paint, that's what I'm using at your home, and you say, "Oh, I kind of want to change that up this time," or maybe you want to make this one white, this one teal, and this one orange. You can go in and do that. And I'm going to paint this whole pumpkin, this teal color. Then we're going to come back and highlight like we did on the bottom pumpkin. We highlighted with the brown at the bottom. I'm going to highlight with white on this one. Now, I always like to paint when I'm using color like this in the direction that's natural. This pumpkin, it flows naturally in this direction. So do you see how I'm painting? Because when it dries, I want those natural lines to be flowing in that direction, okay? So I'm going to come over on this side. I'll stand my brush up and kind of do my outline around the edge. And then you can always tell where you're going to start. You can see that design underneath. So just paint kind of lightly there and you'll be able to see where that design is. So notice how I'm flowing in this direction on this side because that's the natural flow of the curve. Painting it in this direction. Coming around. And just filling in. Now my white will define my seams, my lines. With some highlights of that teal. All right, now I'm going to come in now with my white. I want to let that dry. Let me hit it with my dry just a minute. We're going to add more details. I'm going to come in with a little bit of white right now and kind of bring in these lines here, but we're going to go back and add some more detail in a little bit. But I just want to get those lines back kind of where I see them good. And just bring them in like that, okay? Now we're going to go to the top pumpkin. We'll come back to that. We're going to add some brown to it as well in just a little bit, like the direction says. Now it tells me to rinse and dry my brush, so I'm rinsing out my brush and I'm drying it off. Welcome in. Welcome in. We are painting the stacked pumpkins. I sell art kits and just having a good time here talking and painting. You get written directions, a pre-traced canvas. You can see how this one has been traced. You get 3 brushes, all the paint that you need to paint. You get an apron, napkin, plate. All you need from your house is a cup of water. And so that is what we're doing today. I'm glad you joined us. Come in and talk with us. Tell us where you're from. And we're going to move on up now to my next step. It says to paint the top pumpkin with brown and a little bit of white. So we're going to come in and we're going to use just a little bit. We don't want it a dark brown. We just want to come in and give it a little bit of color here. So we're going to come in and paint in the direction that the pumpkin flows naturally. I'm using white mixed with a little bit of brown. That's what that plate is for that's in your kit. So you can mix some of your paint if you need to. And even with me painting over that, I can still see that line there to help guide me if I need that assistance there. So I'm going to come around on this side, hold my brush up, and just paint in this direction. And trust the process. As you're painting, you're thinking, oh, this doesn't look right. You have to trust the process. Go through all the steps. And when you finished, just like this one that we did day before yesterday on here, this is the fall pumpkin we did, and it is in my shop. It turned out beautiful. The people that were online with me had the best time, enjoying, really having good conversation, and just it turned out really great. So check out my kits there. They're only $25. And like I said, you don't have to think about going anywhere to get anything. Everything you need is there except a cup of water. Um, so, all right, so I've got these done. I've got that done there. All right, now, okay, what do I do next? Well, I'll look at my directions. It says using the small brush, paint ribbed lines with brown. Also paint the stem and curlicue with brown. Rinse and dry your brush. So it gives me exactly what I need to know. Now, remember what I said when we started? The black background. I painted it black with my paint that was in the kit, and I said that as it dries, I may see places that the canvas has kind of soaked up some of the paint that I may want to go back and touch up. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to come in. Hello, welcome in everyone. Um, I'm going to go back and touch that up while this top pumpkin's drying, and then I will go over and do my lines. So anywhere that I see that I want to touch up my black background, I'll come in and just hit those areas so that my background looks smooth. Everything looks good. And I see some places, just little dots of white that I don't want to see. And if you buy one of the kits that has the black background, now you'll know kind of what I'm talking about. Just come in and touch up those backgrounds anywhere you see that maybe you see some white kind of peeping through. So biology, are you still online? I can't tell who is on still or not. I was just going to kind of find out maybe where you were from, if you're still online with me. So I'm working the background here, and I feel satisfied with how that looks now. I feel like I've touched it up pretty good there. Let me go across this bottom just a little bit more here, and I think that's going to be beautiful. Okay, all right, let me rinse my brush out. Then I'm going to go back up and I'm going to add that detail to that top pumpkin there. So with my smaller brush, I'm going to come in and add some detail lines in the brown and come around. It has been a beautiful day here in Georgia. It's been warm, but we're so thankful to not have rain that we are glad that it just to have some sunshine. All right, and I need to go back and I want to add some brown lines too to that middle pumpkin. And we'll add more white highlights later, but I want to come in and keep that kind of brown theme kind of flowing with my pumpkins. And I'm even going to come back down here and just kind of highlight some brown strokes here on the bottom. Okay, all right. Now we're going to come in and do some highlights. Well, let me do my stem first up top. I got ahead of myself. Let's see. Let me get my small brush here. I'm going to come in and paint my stem a brown. You can even add a little black to it if you like. Then I'm just going to take it and just kind of come around and add a little curl to it. And with that, I'm going to take a little bit of black, and then I'll actually come back in with a little bit of white to highlight it. So we'll take some of that. A little bit of white just kind of makes it pop. Just kind of go around and give it that little accent there. Oh, I like it. Okay. All right, we're going to keep right on working. We still got a lot to do. We're nowhere finished with this. So we're going to take it. Now we're going to kind of come in and we're going to do some white highlights on our pumpkins. So, and I'll keep even working adding details to all of it as we go. So I'm going to come around and just kind of make some white lines kind of coming in here in the middle. Just adding some more white to it. Going to do the same here here on this one. We're going to come in and just add some white streaks. On this side, I'll go this way. On this middle one, you'll go on this side and just kind of work your way in with any white details that you have going on there. On this side, you're going to go in this direction with the natural curve. Just kind of bring it around. When we get all those leaves and details on, that's when you're going to really see it pop. I'll come in here and just kind of come back in with some white highlights here at the bottom. And if I want to go back and add any alternating colors like the brown, if I feel like I've gotten too much white and not enough color in my details there, always know you can go back in and add those details, okay? If you feel like, oh, I got too much brown right there, take that white, go in and just kind of tame it down a little bit and just kind of make it to suit your eye, because my eye is different than your eye. You see things that you might would change differently, and I see things that I want to change. So, and even up here, I already know I want to go in and add some more teal back in this. I want more darkness. So I'm going to come back in and play with that as I work. So that's what's so good about this. You get to just sit and enjoy, get you a cup of coffee, a glass of wine, or a glass of tea, and just enjoy painting that. All right, so now we're going to come in and we're going to paint the grass in between the pumpkins, okay? So you can use your big brush or your middle brush, all according to what size leaves that you want on your pumpkin or the grass that you want. So we're going to come in. You can use your picture as a guide. All my stem, my grass, from the middle is going to, from the middle point of the pumpkins are going to come out this way. Everything from this side is going to point this way. So let me get my green paint. And I like to mix my green and my white together. I like that color. I'm using kind of a dark Halls green. I use Deco Art paint, so that's what the paint you'll be getting. Or either Craftsman's. Hey Carol, welcome in. Um, in your kits that you get. So now we're going to begin doing the grass in between. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to kind of flick outward with that design. And I'm going to be putting more leaves in between. We are painting the stacked pumpkin. I sell art kits, everything you need but a cup of water. They come with specific detailed directions, step 1, step 2. Right now, we are on step 7, and they come with 3 brushes, all the paint you need, an apron, a plate, a napkin, and all you need from your house is a cup of water. That's all you need. Saves you a lot of time, and it's so enjoyable. Okay, so now I'm coming in and I'm bringing that grass out in this direction on this side. Now we're going to come in and add some more leaves and things, but I want to get a base coat down here, and I mixed white in with that. Okay, we're going to do in between the next one as well. So I'm coming in and I'm going to start in the middle of my pumpkin and work my way out. I'm kind of taking that brush and just kind of flicking in between as I go. Hello, welcome in. Um, all right, then I'll go this way with this one. Check out my shop. I have over 50 designs. I'm still loading. This is my only my third show advertising my art kits. I am a retired school principal, and I do ladies paint parties at churches and businesses and homes, and I would take art kits to sell, and the ladies there were just like, I need that because I want to do this more. It's relaxing. I find people saying that it's just so enjoyable. So I started making up these kits and taking them to my parties, and people would buy them because they had everything they needed in them, and they could just enjoy painting. Now I'm going to do my bottom. So I'm just getting a base here down for my other greenery that we're going to add, coming in to give it a kind of a base. We're going to add like eucalyptus type flowers to this one. It's going to be real pretty. The directions are very detailed, so they tell you exactly what you need to do. And we're coming in and laying down this grass, we're going to call it, here in between these layers. Any questions? Anybody got any questions about my kits? Where are y'all from? I was painting the other day, and I had a lady tell me she was from Abbeville, South Carolina, and it was the strangest thing because my husband and I had bought 2 recliners on Marketplace, and we had been to Abbeville the day before. And I'd never been to Abbeville, didn't even know where Abbeville was. And so we went, and when she said Abbeville, I was like, you're kidding. It is a small world. So, all right, so that's looking good. I'm happy with the way that's coming together. Okay, so if you don't know what to do next, you just go to your directions. It says create a couple of leaves on top, then paint the round leaves with the green and a little bit of white one. So we're going to do that. Let's come up to the top, and we'll start adding some greenery up here at the very top. So I'm going to take my skinny brush, and we're going to use my picture as my guide, and I'm going to paint some leaves and some stems with some flowers on them. So we're going to get that going. Hello, hello. So now I'm going to do a leaf here. So I'm going to make like a parenthesis and a parenthesis. Give it a little point, and I've got my leaf. I can come in with more green and kind of add some detail to that leaf. So my kits, like I said, they will walk you through. If you're wanting to learn how to paint, these kits are a great way to kind of get your feet wet in learning some simple techniques. And I'm going to turn my um, canvas like this so that I can come in here and do a leaf on the end. I'm going to do a leaf here and a leaf here. Just kind of work my way back with some leaves here. I'm pushing down and pulling in, pushing down and pulling in. And I've got some pretty little leaves on there. And I want some white details on those, so I'll dip in the white. Just kind of see if I can bring it down just a little bit so you can see. Come in and just kind of add some little lines, little highlights basically is what I'm adding. Even on this one over here, I can come in and add some white highlights. Maybe need to come in and add just a few more highlights on this curly Q stem. And you can even come back on it and add some brown if you need to. Okay, now I'm going to come in and do the same thing just around the outside of the pumpkin. I'm going to come in and let's see, let's use some white and green and I'm mixing some together on my plate. All that's provided for you in the kit. Um, if you're interested, please check out my kits, give them a try. I have not sold any yet, but I have faith that it is going to happen soon. I think somebody is going to actually be interested um, and find joy in actually painting. So I'm making these stems come up any way you want to do it. This side I did two, this side I did one. You can go with exactly how the actual photo looks. You can go by that or get creative. If I wanted to bring another stem out on this side, once you kind of get the hang of it, you can add the details that you like. So now we'll come in and we're going to add some little leaves on these. And I'm making my leaves a little bit different than I did actually on the thing. You can do more rounded leaves. You can do pointed leaves, whatever design that you like or whatever you're comfortable making. All right, gonna come in and if you want to go back and add some dark green over that, just dip in the dark green and come back over that. Now here I'm gonna add just a few little leaves on this one and see how it's kind of coming together. Any questions? Anybody got questions? All right. Gonna come in, push and pull. All right, so that is coming together. I think it really looks good. I'm gonna come in with just that. I need to get some green, just some green on my brush. Let's see, let's come in and go ahead and do some, while I've got this on my brush, I'm gonna come in and do some leaves on this one. And then we'll come over here and we'll do some on this one. Maybe have one coming out over here like that. And let's go ahead while we're at it and make the ones on the bottom. All right, welcome in, welcome in. We are painting today. Art kits, we're doing this design. I actually opened this packet up. It comes pre-packaged in a cellophane package with your design and all the paint, 3 brushes, written detailed directions. Right now we are on step 9 and it walks you through exactly how to paint the picture. Where y'all from? Come in and just give me a little hey or something to let me know that you're on and listening to me. Auntie, welcome. Thrift, welcome in. Welcome in. All right, so we painted our background black first. We followed the steps that I've given to you in your package. we went through each step. We are now on this step here, and I'm going to begin adding in my leaves in between these pumpkins here. So I'm going to come in and take some white. I'm going to follow my written directions and come in. All right, I'm going to start off the tip here and just come in and add these designs of these leaves. Coming in, pushing down and pulling in. Gonna come in and let's add a little bit more down detail on this side too. Gonna come in here and just add some little marks here on this one. We'll do like baby's breath at the very end. And I'll show you how to do that. It's a very simple technique using the back of your brush. So I'm going to come in over here and add some leaves here as well. What do y'all think? How's everybody doing? Then I'll come around. I'll come on down here since I'm on this side. Get some white and green and kind of mix together. And also, if you're not sure how to do a leaf, all it is a parenthesis and a parenthesis together. So take your brush, you can form that and paint it in and give it details with lines or whatever. That's one of the things that when I'm teaching my paint parties, I'm going to have to flip my canvas. That's a trick that you can do so that I can do this one here. And I'm going to come in and just add my leaves. I'm going to come in. I want these to be more white, so I'm going to come in and add. Notice how I'm pulling in toward the stems on that as well. Now on this side, I'm going to make a stem here coming out on the side also. So I'm going to get some paint on my little brush. I'm going to add a stem coming out here and maybe add one coming up on this side. I think I want to get a little creative and just add a little bit more white right in here. And I can come in and add some little white streaks on these here, kind of make them pop a little bit. Now let's take my brush, come in. I've got that. I'm going to turn it a little bit to the side here and come in and just add some details right in here. You can always come back in and highlight over the white with the green and over the green with the white. And even though you might have even mixed them together, you'll get shades of it. So I'm going to come in and push down and pull in, and I'm bringing it back down towards the bottom of my vine. It's really looking pretty. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. What do y'all think? Going to turn around this way and push and pull and bring it in. And it is coming together beautifully. I think I need another small one here on the side. So I'm going to come in and bring that out just like that. Push and pull and bring that white color in on that bottom there. And I love the way that looks. I think that looks pretty. Now I'm going to go to my next step. All right, now I can, while that's drying, I can go back and look at my pumpkins. I had said I wanted to come back in and add some more teal highlight, some darker teal to my pumpkin. So I'm going to come back in, and where I didn't have those white highlights, I'm going to come in and add some of that dark teal in just to make that pop. And I can always go back over it with my white if I need to. So I'm coming back in. I want that that teal color to kind of pop. So I'm coming in and highlighting around the edges there, and then I'll come back with my white at the end and kind of make it really jump off the page with that white. I'm always painting in the direction of the curve of the natural pumpkin or the natural object that I'm doing. This being a pumpkin, I want to paint in this curve coming around. I wouldn't want to paint across because I wouldn't want it when it dries for those marks to actually be in that direction. Okay, so I have gotten that much done now. I think it's really coming together. All right, now I'm going to come in. I'm going to add some white detail up here on my pumpkin up here on the top. So let me come in and just add some white. And then I'm going to come in here on this one and come back in and add some white detail in here as well. Okay. All right. Now, just look at your painting, see if there's anything that you want to change or add. You can take your skinny brush and come in with white and add some white details on all your leaves to kind of make them stand out. Just little lines in them. Makes it really pretty. Um, and then the last step with our paint kit will be to come in and add the baby's breath. So your kit will tell you exactly what you need. So our last step here, number 11, it says add white baby's breath using the back of your brush. So what we'll do is right now we're doing the step before that and we're coming in and highlighting. Welcome in. We are painting a paint kit. I sell art kits for adults, teach you beginning steps of learning how to paint. And I have about 50 something designs in my shop. And this is the one we've been working on for the past hour. And it has really come together just beautifully. So we're coming in right now at the very last part and adding some white highlights. Tell us where you're from. Glad to have you in. And any questions that you might have about my kits, please feel free to ask me. All right, so the last thing that we're going to do that just kind of makes this whole painting just kind of pop is we'll take the back end of our brush and we'll actually dip it in the white paint and we will make what will look like baby's breath to kind of make your picture pop. So we'll come in and just add some designs kind of all around. Tiny ones, real tiny, big. It just kind of makes your picture pop there at the end. I am a retired school principal and I have been retired about 8 years. I've been doing paint parties for women about 4. And at those paint parties, they would say, oh my gosh, this is so relaxing. And so I started making kits and they would buy them because on their days off, they would love to get them a cup of coffee and just sit around and have time for themselves to paint and do what they kind of wanted to do, relax, find ways. I've had women to buy several to get together with friends and actually come in and paint. And so, see how that kind of just brings this whole picture together? We'll even add some within our grass in between the pumpkins here. This is a painting, y'all. I would hang this painting in my house for fall. I mean, I would not be ashamed. Once you follow my directions, they're so detailed. You will feel so confident that you could go to Hobby Lobby, buy 11 by 14. Canvas frame, and you would feel okay to hang this in your house. I honestly believe that. Welcome in. So now I'm just adding baby's breath, as we call it, with the back end of my brush. I'm just doing the dots and I'm adding them just wherever I kind of want to, just to add that little pop that gives it that little extra oomph that it needs. And I am just so happy with how it turned out. Now, when you purchase my kits, you get everything you need but a cup of water. When I sat down and went live with you, all I did was opened up my package. It was in a package like this. It came with a cover sheet that showed the actual design. And it tells you that this kit comes with written instructions with pictures here, paint. You get all the paint you need, and I have not even put a dent in my paint. Look how full all of these are. You can close these up and have this to paint something else, so you get more than enough paint to paint the design. You get an apron, you get a paper plate. It will come to you just like this. These are some that I'm packaging now for some that's been purchased. You get an apron, a napkin, a plate, all that. You get 3 brushes. I give you a large flat, a medium round, and a skinny round. So you get all the brushes that you need to paint that painting. And like I said, all you need is actually a cup of water. And my kits are 11 by 14. They are pre-traced. So when I opened this package up, these pumpkins were outlined on here for me so that you are comfortable, and then you just walk right through the steps and it shows you how to paint. So we're finishing up our baby's breath here and just kind of adding some white dots using the back end of my brush, kind of making it pop. What do y'all think about this? How do you think it turned out? I'm kind of happy with how it turned out. Let's see, we're gonna add some designs there, and I like the way that looks. Gonna come in with that, and I think it turned out beautifully. Now, all artists have to sign their artwork, so somewhere at the bottom, you would simply find a spot, take up maybe your smallest brush in white, and actually sign your name, your initials, and voila, you have just completed your masterpiece. So, this is how our paint kits look, and how what all you get with your paint kits. And I hope you have enjoyed being with me today. Um, it has been fun, and I'm so thrilled with how it turned out. I actually kind of want to touch up a little bit of places in black. Coming in and making sure that everything is painted. Now, what I'm going to do before I am completely through is I am going to come around and paint my sides. I think I'll go ahead and paint those, and we will have finished this art kit, this particular painting, the stacked pumpkins. Now, the other day when I went live, we painted the fall pumpkin, and it is on the website. We painted this one here. It turned out beautiful. And today we have chosen to do the stacked pumpkins. And it is more of a neutral kind of tone with the turquoise teal color. Just a kind of a different fall vibe than the traditional orange pumpkin. If you want to frame your art kit, they're 11 by 14. You can go to Hobby Lobby, and they have them in back where the frames are. They're hanging on hooks in the back, and they have 16 by 20. They have 11 by 14. These are 11 by 14 here. So, but your kits come with everything you need to paint the picture. All you need is a cup of water. That is all you will need. So I'm finishing up the top of this, and this painting will be done. My art kits take anywhere from an hour probably to an hour and a half to complete. Um, so the kits come in little pods. So if you want to stop and take a break, you can just close up the pods like I've done these here. And I didn't even use a fourth of the paint that you're going to get in these kits. It comes with more than enough. Um, and so this is it. This is the stacked pumpkins. That's how that came. And I'll show you another how it's prepackaged. This is another one of my kits. This is the Autumn Church, and it tells you exactly what comes in the kits. If you notice, it is pre-traced, the church and everything. And then when you turn it over, you have written directions. You have an apron, napkin, plate, 3 brushes, and all the paint that you need to paint that picture. And just like this one that we just did here, everything you need, all I had to do was grab a cup with some water in it, and I'm ready to start painting. So it's just a great, just a if you're wanting a hobby, or if you enjoy painting, or kind of want something to kind of get your mind off of everything. Like I said, I was a school principal, and I needed a hobby. I wanted a hobby, and I really didn't take time for myself when I was working. And I wish I had now as I look back on it. You know, when you look back on things, the older you get, you you kind of think, gosh, I wish I'd have done this and I wish I'd have done that. And so I really encourage the women that come to my paint parties and all, to really take time for yourself and do something for yourself. And so a lot of people will get these kits, they'll tell me, and they'll, Saturday mornings, they'll get up, get them a cup of coffee or a glass of or tea or whatever, and we'll paint. And I've heard of, friends getting together, buying kits, and kind of having like a paint and sip or whatever. But that's how my kits come. Now, if you look in my, I'm going to set this aside. Let me get that kind of cleaned up there. And I'm going to set that one there. This is one that we did. Yeah, 2 days ago online here on Whatnot. We did this one. This is the fall pumpkin. It's very different than this one here. All my designs kind of have a different flair. So I encourage you to go into my shop and look. Um, some other designs, I printed them off so that I could share them, is like the lavender and the vase. This is a design here. We'll have fall, Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up. Easter next year. I've got the bunny in the field. This is one of my designs. I've got the goat. Um, this one here is the daisies in the box. This one here you can design and actually put writing on this one, like if you wanted to say thankful or grateful or blessed. This is a beautiful one. I've done this one many times at paint parties. Another fall one here, the fall trees. I teach you step by step how to get this look with the light beaming through the trees here. It's all written out for you in the directions. So take a look through my shop and the buy it now if you're interested. Would love for you to go in and take a look at those. Um, Christmas coming up. Here's the snowman and the ornament. And everything that you need to paint these pictures will be in the kits. And like I said, all you need is a cup of water. Here is the sunflower, the bicycle and the sunflower. This is one of my kits here. Teach you how to do the hatch here. Look on the basket. This is the fall florals. I actually have this one in a 16 by 14 here framed in my studio right now. Beautiful, beautiful step by step direction for you on how to do this actual painting here. This is the hydrangea design here. Like I said, they're all available in the shop, and um, If you have any questions, you can email me at SharonDye44@gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions. This here is a sunflower in the vase. Walk you through how to do the background here. Walk you how to do the table, how to do the clear glass, and all the steps. Great way to get you started. Now, this is the one that we did 2 days ago here on um, the Whatnot app. Here is Elsie the cow. Just love her. She's so cute. We've got the plaid pumpkin. We've got that. We've got the pig and the flamingo. So just all kinds of designs that we have. And I hope that you'll come back and join us again. And thanks so much.